Well, let's bring in Sami Nader in Beirut. He's the director of the Levant Institute for Strategic Affairs. Sami, always good to speak to you on this news hour. Let's start with these ceasefire negotiations, because there are reports that Hamas has reportedly changed its demand of an immediate ceasefire. How do you think that alleged dropping of that demand will affect the negotiations today and in the coming days?
Up to now, I mean, this can be considered as a good sign, but on the other hand, there is no clear-cut commitment from the part of the Israeli government to abide by the deal. On one hand, there is what is told to maybe to the American broker, and on the other hand, there are realities on the ground. And especially that up to now, there is no clear indication from the battlefield that we are moving towards a ceasefire. And this, I mean, maybe the reason for that, Netanyahu is trying to buy time, not to end the hostilities before his speech in front of the Congress, or maybe he's betting for a change in the American administration and waiting for November and dragging things on the ground. On one hand, he don't want to antagonize the Biden administration that is putting all the pressure for a ceasefire for strategic reasons, for electoral reason, but up to now there is no clear-cut commitment from the part of Israel to abide by this draft deal.
When you talk about the realities on the ground, what we've seen happen just today is that evacuation order from Gaza City, people now having to leave again, some for the 12th time, to what they think and know are probably not safer areas. And we've had these increased strikes on schools. Could that possibly be a strategy by Israel to increase pressure on Hamas as they head into these new negotiations?
Yeah, definitely. These are the signs we were talking about, to have what they call the humanitarian bulbs inside Gaza. And I believe the objective is to try to separate the Hamas leadership from its population. And this is in line with the stated objective of the Israeli military operation. Between brackets was one has to keep in mind that abiding by the deal from an Israeli point of view today is in contradiction with the objective that Israel has stated at first, meaning that Hamas will be totally destroyed. This ceasefire today is in contradiction with this objective, and any sort of guarantee of what happened will not happen again. So Israel is trying to get the hostage out, but not keeping in mind that the other objectives have not been achieved. So in the ground, having this humanitarian bulbs and redistributing the Gazan population in this closed area will have like this double objective. On one hand, try to separate and isolate Hamas leadership from the population. On the other hand, maybe pave the ground to a targeted military operation. And this is an additional sign that the end of hostility is not met with a clear decision from the Israeli government. Maybe for personal reason pertaining to Netanyahu, or for political reason, given the fact that the extreme right, Ben Gvir and Smotrich, have the upper hand inside the government. And if they feel that Netanyahu will go to this deal, they will resign, and this would mean the end of Netanyahu's political life.
And so Netanyahu obviously feeling that pressure from the far right, allies to his Likud party. But then you also mentioned earlier the pressure coming from the Biden administration. But how strong really is that pressure, given that we are 9 months into this war and every day in Gaza it just appears to be getting worse, and there has been much talk, but there has been no action to end this or to improve the humanitarian conditions for Palestinians?
Definitely, and this is the deadlock. On the one hand, Netanyahu does not want to open any political breakthrough. He's still dealing with the issue with military means. Having only a hammer in the hand will not pave the way for a solution, and a solution like this would require another government, a government that is not hostage from an extreme right decision maker. And to change that would mean to call for a new election, and the political situation inside Israel does not allow that. So on one hand, he's hostage of the extreme right, and in the second hand, a solution or even an end of the hostility would require a political settlement that he's not ready to embark on.
Sami Nader in Beirut, always good to get your analysis. Thanks again for speaking to us.